I've got a pretty cool local band on the show today who got screwed over by a club owner. They're here to give their side of the story. Stick around.
This is the Boulder Zone, the fusion of masculine insight and entertainment.
This is Sparta!
Here's your host, Marco Boulder.
I was consuming my daily dose of social media spirit of Epicac the other day when I ran across a rather terse post on Facebook penned by a musician friend that I know. He vented about a recent gig that a bar owner shorted he and his band on. The shitty fact of this is, it's been happening to artists big and small since Willie was a baby. This is what we're going to talk about today. Before I do, subscribe to my channel and like this show. I need your support to keep this zesty podcast rolling for you. Guys, bands like my guests bust their asses to bring you their a brand of entertainment. Not only because they love sharing it with you, but for most is how they pay their bills. I'm certain a lot of you have gotten shorted on your paycheck before, right? Well, what was your reaction? Did you get yours rectified? Probably, right? Most of these local bands don't, though. They're forced to take the financial hit, cut that venue out of their schedule, and find another one to replace it. Why? Because legal action is expensive and the battle's not worth a few $100s that they got cheated out of. They end up losing more than they gain, be that money, be that time, whatever. So if you see a social media post like what I saw, where you've got a musician friend that's talking about a problem like this, do something for him. Go to the bar or the venue social media or webpage and give him a little bit of shit about it. If you're so inclined, find another place to hang out in, another show to watch, another bar, somewhere else. Listen, 9 times out of 10, the reason they can't afford to honor their agreements is because of poor promotion. Is it okay to ask the band to bring their fans and friends? Sure, of course it is. But to hang the entire night's income on only the local band draw is just pure laziness and piss poor business. So if you're a bar owner or a venue manager and you're pulling this shit, fucking stop. And before you say,
well, I got to consider my business first. I don't have the money and...
Really? And whose fucking fault is that, you ninny? Not the musicians. It's yours. Work smarter. Okay, disclaimer. This is my opinion on my show and may not reflect the perspective of the guests or other musicians appearing herein. Okay, I've made you guys wait long enough. Here's a clip of my guest today, Shotgun Sally, a tribute to the hair band era.
We're Shotgun Sally. We're from Houston, Texas. We were gutter glam, like Taylor Rock.
Sifting through the wrecks of broken dreams. That cold mess, I line
From Houston, Texas, welcome vocalist Johnny King and bass thumper Stevie Mayhem from Shotgun Sally, a tribute to the hair band era. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
What to do?
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You are more than welcome. Before we discuss this shit sandwich that was handed to you guys, Johnny, tell everyone how the band came to be and what folks can expect from a Shotgun Sally show.
Yeah, man, we're going on almost 5 years now. Our anniversary's coming up in December. It happened because I'd met someone in Austin and gotten married and then divorced and decided to come back to Houston. Wanted to put a band together that I always envisioned and play hair band music. So I got a group of guys and rehearsed, and we did okay in the beginning. You know, it was a typical 1 or 2 shows a month. But it wasn't going where I wanted. I didn't really have the players I was looking for. And it took me about 3.5 years before I was able to finally get Gigi Sleaze in the band. I'd been trying for a long time. Once I got him, it just fell together. Stevie came on board. We just recently picked up a new drummer and second guitar player. And it's high energy. Hair band music from the late 80s, early 90s, all your favorite bands, Kix, Warrant, Tesla, Poison, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, Lynch Mob, some, just the typical sing-along, pump-in-your-face choruses and good time. We add in the choreography, the high energy, and a whole lot of drinking, and it's a good party.
I have to say that I've been out and seen you guys a couple of times. And Johnny, I've got a very, very important question for you. I want you to be prepared for this.
All right.
Is there a venue where you haven't climbed up on something during the show?
No. In fact, there's not a venue that I haven't hit my head on a ceiling fan in. So.
Stevie, what about you, buddy? Have you ever taken a normal picture with a fan yet?
No, that's not really my thing. Normal pictures are weird. I'd rather look funny in one, have a good time with it.
Okay, let's give props to your bandmates right now. Johnny, can you tell me the names and the
Sure.
The other guys, and maybe an embarrassing anecdote? No, I'm kidding. You don't have to do that. Just the instrument and the names, fine.
Well, we have the legendary Gigi Sleaze on guitars. We got him because of the COVID pandemic. He was on tour with Richie Ramone from the Ramones and stuck in Greece when it hit. And when he came home, he'd been on the road for a long time. It's what he did. And all of a sudden he couldn't do it. I was the one of the very few guys lucky enough to be able to find places to book gigs during that whole thing and keep the product going. And he jumped on board right away with that and never looked back. I got him domesticated. He had a baby, and now he's stuck here in Houston with us. So our newest members, we have Ron Bam Bam Harris on drums. Ron comes from Kid Six, which was another band that used to play all over Houston. His former bandmate, Roger Wolf, has joined us on lead guitar. And then, of course, we have Stevie Mayhem here, bass raping and heartbreaking.
Yeah, he's quite the character. I think both of you are, but damn good show you guys put on. I've enjoyed my time seeing you. Okay, so
you should mention that you've been on stage with us yourself.
Yeah.
Oh well, this isn't about me, and there was a lot of fireball flowing that night.
A lot of fireball.
Right? I mean, it was kind of a blur, I think, for everyone. It was for me a little, I can tell you that.
It was a good time, though.
That's a normal show.
Really good time. Thank you. Had a great time doing that. Okay, so let's talk about your recent fiscal sodomy experience. Johnny, tell me how it occurred. What happened?
Well, when the venue contacted me, it was a buddy of mine. His significant other was managing the place. They were trying to turn it into a music venue. They didn't have a big budget to work with. We do have a price that comes with us, but we're not opposed to helping out. We're very big on doing, charity events when it touches somebody in our circle. And so I decided I'd throw them a solid, and I cut the rate. And we went in there at much less than what we would normally get. But it's a new venue, and if the venue is successful and we keep coming back, then everybody wins. And that's just my philosophy. So, we go in, and here's something too, Mark, that people don't think about. Especially these club owners and managers, they think, oh, well, if the band's going to come in, they're going to play from 9 to 1, and that's what I'm paying them for. Well, you know what? I'm 2 hours away from the venue. So I leave my house, I go to my storage unit, I load up all my equipment, I drive down there, I set up the entire PA and light system. The guys come in and set up their stuff. We sound check, we play the show, and then we break it down, and we drive it back to the storage unit and unload it and come home. All told, that's a 10-hour day. And when you break down the hourly rate, it ain't that much. So when the guy contacted me from the venue, basically he said, can you play? Here's the date. Here's the time. We promote. If anybody ever looks at the Shotgun Sally page and our personal pages, we promote our shows every day, every week. People probably get sick of how much we're shoving our content down. And I didn't see any promotion from the venue all the way up until the day of the show. So we go in, we do our thing. And right before we go on for the third set, the bartender hands me a phone and says, the owner wants to talk to you. She said, I didn't make enough money. You guys didn't bring anybody. I can't pay you the full amount. And I said, well, what can you pay? And she said, well, we're going to have to negotiate that. And I said, well, I got to pay my guys. These guys, it's not their fault that you didn't have enough business. So you're going to have to give me X amount of dollars. And we argued about it back and forth, and she finally agreed to that. So I was able to pay them, and I took the hit. But the thing was, her next line was, well, you guys just didn't bring anybody. And I said, you know what? I'm looking out here, and every person that's here is here because we brought them. And I don't see anybody new here. So collected the money, left, made my post. She contacted me and, of course, tried to make me out to be the bad guy, and didn't understand why more people didn't show up. How did I promote? Why didn't I promote harder? And I just told her, I said, you didn't hire me to fill your venue. If that's your business model, you expect the bands to bring their people and fill your venue, that needs to be set up front. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're an outdoor venue. It was 110 degrees outside. And if I'd known up front that your expectation for me to get paid was that I had to fill your venue, I would have turned the gig down. I'm not in the business of that. I'm in the business of performing. You hired my band to come in and entertain. We did more than entertain.
So you basically gave them a discount rate off the top, and then took it in the ass later on because she couldn't do the proper promotion. As I mentioned,
She didn't do any promotion.
Yeah.
No promotion.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing for all of us, with no promotion and expecting all these expectations. I mean, again, like you said, everyone that was there are people we knew, we were friends with. They came out because we were in the area and saw us. So we did the work for our part, And again, when he talks about getting there early, I think me and him were there probably 3 or 4 hours before showtime even. Then they even had us start an hour later than they wanted. So there was a lot of things in that night that just kept adding up. Even at the end of the night, it's not like they handed us cash or a check. Usually they have that set up ahead of time, Just like if you were to go, you worked for Budweiser, you brought the beer to that bar, you need to be paid for that beer. It was almost like, hey, where's the money at? And they were like, oh, we'll send it later. We'll send it to you. We'll send it to you. And we had to yell at them almost to get the money sent right then. So that way, again, everyone could get paid for the show we just put on. It was just
I interrupted her vacation with all of this because, and she wanted to Venmo me the money like the next day, and I said, we're not leaving until we get something, because I knew I'd never see that money. And it's not the first time, Mark. I mean, we played a venue out in Galveston that, they paid our rate, but they wrote us a check. I deposited, I sent the money to the guys, and then 2 days later, I get a notice from my bank that the check bounced. And it took me forever to get my money back from that guy. I mean, it was a lot of back and forth. But it's like you said, I mean, even that money, while that's a lot of money to me, it would have cost me 10 times that to even get it into court and try to get that back. So you end up getting screwed no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will say that's 1% of venues that we play. We did 140 some shows last year and had one bad experience.
Yeah.
And we're on pace to do the same thing this year, and we've had one bad experience. But it's that one bad experience that, it gives the industry a bad name. And it really deflates you because, yeah, we use this money to pay our bills, but the truth is we do this because we love doing it. We love entertaining people. We love everybody having a party. We meet so many great people like you when we're out there doing this. That's why we do it. But you start to question yourself when these things happen. Like, man, is it really worth it? I'm taking time away from my family. And
I'll add too, it's not like you guys are a venue or like anything like that. You play a place like we have out here, like a Scout bar. Now that is a venue, like you bring in a band, to bring a crowd, that's what their job is, but they still promote and everything too. But when you're doing like what we do with the bars, with the tribute bands and stuff like we are, that's your entertainment of that bar. So that bar should already have people there. You're just giving them a band to entertain them. So anytime you bring entertainment in, whether it's karaoke, a DJ, whoever, you have to pay them what their hours are worked. If you brought in a guest bartender, you're going to pay them for the hours they worked. That's what we are. We're a worker for that night for you. We're not necessarily supposed to pack the place for you. So we do our work because we enjoy what we do. We want people there, of course. So we're going to always promote it. But you
I would add a promoter's fee on top of the deal if that's what they expect from me. You want me to fill your bar? Okay, then I get this much per head, on top of the band being paid.
Yep.
But let's talk about that up front. Don't wait until I'm going on stage for the final set and call me and tell me that this is what you expected from me.
Johnny, I think I read that you got that or made that call after your second set or something like that. So you still had to finish out the night. Is that true?
Well, we didn't have to. What it was she called me right before we went on to the third set. And in that conversation, well, you guys can leave early. Well, no, we can't. And here's why. Because there were people there that came because of us and came specifically to see us. And they were expecting a full show. All right. It's not their fault that the owner's a douchebag. It's not their fault. We still owe them what they came for because they were loyal to us and they came out to support us. So I'm not cutting they could have gone anywhere and spent their hard-earned money to see anybody they wanted to see, and they chose to come see us. I'm not cutting their night short. I'm just not. But, I made sure my guys got paid and we finished the show, and that was that.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't pull an Axl Rose.
Yeah, no,
you're not that type of guy. Yeah. So making matters worse, you mentioned it was an outdoor show.
Yeah.
It was oppressively hot. I mean,
we started, it was 110.
Yeah. How do you finish a show when you've been screwed for the money and it's 110 degrees? I mean, how do you guys bring an upbeat, positive show like you have when you've got these negatives working against you?
Because at the end of the day, we're there for the people that came to support us.
Yeah.
That's to us, that's what it's all about. I'm not, you don't bring work home and take it out on your family. And the people that support us are family. So I'm not taking work out on them. They came for a good time. They're getting a good time.
And for us, it doesn't matter if there's 5 people or 1,000 people there. Those same 5 people are going to get the same show those 1,000 people get. It's putting on the show for them no matter what happened to us behind the scenes.
And truthfully, that's why we've been so successful. That's why we play every weekend, every month, all year long. And bars bring us back. And we get into new venues. And we recently played Rise Rooftop because of the reputation that we have. And it's the name and the brand of the band is way more important than one bad bar owner.
Anyone with a working brain knows that operating a venue that hosts entertainment requires promotion to maximize their profits. Did the owner explain to you why she failed to promote? I mean, is that something she normally does that you know?
No, what I got was I got a picture. She texted me a picture of an artist that had the place full, and she said it can be done. This guy did it, and I said, well, I got pictures all day long, and I sent her a couple where we packed the place. I said, but you know the difference? I said, I know that guy. He lives 2 blocks from you, and he went to high school with most everybody that's in that crowd. And they follow him everywhere. So you're getting locals there. We're not a local band. I mean, we are a local Houston band, but I got one guy that lives in the Woodlands, one that lives in Katy, one that lives in the Heights, one that lives in Cypress, and I'm in the Galleria. So, we're not a tomball band. We're not a spring band. We're a Houston band made up of guys that live somewhere in the vicinity in Houston. So we build our following by going into places and performing and putting on the show that we put on. And then the people that are regulars at those places start spreading the word. And before you know it, the place is packed by the third time we're there.
And who knows, even if they did one post or tag people in it, or, no one probably knew we were even there. There was no, we play some bars, they have flyers and pictures up around the, bar or whatever. Again, they had no post at all saying there's a band even playing that night. So how is anybody supposed to know that they were having live music? There was nothing ever posted for that.
And what you got is, and this is, Mark, I think part of your question that I can answer is that, anybody with half a brain, what happens is you get these people that they go to a bar, they hear it's for sale, and they think, well, this place is pretty successful. How hard can it be? And I mean, you've ever watched Bar Rescue, you see this. John Taffer sees it everywhere he goes. So they get in there. They don't have any business sense. They've never run a business, never been a manager. They don't know anything about how to operate, much less promote. They just throw their money at it and say, okay, let's take the wheelbarrows to the bank. It's hard work. There's a lot involved with it. And there's just, too many people out there that should take business classes and promotion classes and really do some research before they go investing in something. And in this case, that's what you had. You had somebody that had no clue what they were doing.
Well, it's good that you learned about it, after your first gig. She didn't pull this shit on you, later on, so you could scratch her off the list and
Yeah.
But let's talk about your recent show. Let's switch gears, turn it into something a little more positive here.
Sure.
What I read, and guys, I apologize, really want to head out to that show, but I guess your other band is Swinging Bottles. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Stevie, what can you tell me about that band?
Yeah, so Swinging Bottles was an idea for us to have original music. So with Shotgun Sally, we do all the covers and the hair band stuff, but we also all write music. So where can we do that outlet in? So we started Swinging Bottles. It was a project that Gigi Sleaze had originally done, and nothing was happening with this. So he's like, why don't we make us Swinging Bottles? And started doing it. And it's done really good. We have a record that's almost done with, and everyone will get to hear that soon. If you look up Swinging Bottles, even now on YouTube and Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, we do have a few songs out there as well. So it's just a way for us to do original music and still doing what we love.
And how was your experience? Because you got to open at the Scout Bar for LA Guns. How did all that go for you?
Amazing.
Phenomenal. Yeah, we got there even during sound check and got to see LA Guns during their sound check, which, was really cool because you get to see these guys too being their regular selves sometimes. You see them on stage, and yes, they're having fun, but I know we're a bunch of goofballs all the time, and so are it was cool seeing them get to goof off a little bit. And then, we were playing with a couple other bands too that we're buddies with and getting to experience that. And I just remember us loading equipment in. We got done loading it all, setting it up, and we walk outside, and there's a line down the whole walkway of Scout Bar. And we're like, holy smokes, this is going to go off. And when we went up there, it was packed. People were in the front of the stage, and I think we all just ran off that adrenaline.
Oh, that's great. And how does opening for a band like that amp up your show?
It's you've seen Sally live. We're Sally on steroids 10 times, and that crowd. I'm not shy about getting the crowd involved, and I've got them screaming and singing. Nobody knew our songs, but they were singing the choruses. So it's pretty exciting, and
I think that's
Yeah.
the surreal moment too, is like, no one heard these songs before, but we come up with catchy choruses, when Johnny's writing or any of us are writing, and Johnny got the whole crowd going and even stopped singing for a minute, and the whole crowd is singing the chorus to this song. And we're going, holy smokes, like this is it right here. And I think playing with a big band like LA Guns too, it's almost like, all right, we know they're going to bring it. We're going to extra bring it today. You almost want to be the best band on that bill. Not that the other bands are good, because they were phenomenal, but it makes you strive to be that much better and go, all right, we're going to, we opened the show. So we're going to set the tone tonight. Let's set it hard, So it was great.
Well, the clubs that the guys were talking about here, the Scout Bar and the Rise Rooftop, right?
Yeah.
Those are some big venues down there in Houston that are fun to play. But these guys play everywhere. Guys, I've seen Shotgun Sally a couple of times. They truly honor the hair band era. They bring the rock and roll raunch, they bring the fun, and they cover the songs really well. And what struck me about you guys is you're all really nice guys. So, folks, the next time you're in the greater Houston area, what the fuck are you waiting for? Go see them. You'll have a great time. And if you're not in the Houston area, plan on seeing them when you visit. Here's their website. Got it right down here. I'll also have it in the description below for you to check out. We'll get a link to their schedule down there as well. And so you can track them down the next time you guys are around. Johnny King, Stevie Mayhem, one half of Shotgun Sally, tribute to the hairband era. Also one half of Swinging Bottles. Guys, thanks for chatting with me today. I really appreciate it. And we will see you out there.
Thanks for having us,
Thanks,
man.
Marco. Take care.
Absolutely. Guys, that's the show. Thanks for sticking around. Before you go, for show appearances and appointments, visit boulderzone.com, boulderzone.com. And while you're there, check out my insightful blog posts. I'm sure you will enjoy them. Driving, at the office, in your car, working out, wherever you're at, you can listen to my shows on Apple Podcast as well. Just log in and type The Boulder Zone. Social media, yeah, I'm all over there as well. Oh, and comment. Let me know your opinion or questions on the show today and anything else. Down there, right there below. So, until next time, you know what to do.
Get bolder.